Guys, I think I've come to my senses. Whitebeard may not be planetary. Dimension F is a pocket dimension. It's a replica of Franklin's root dimension. It's even noted to have a similar expanse to its root dimension, which means it can be equal in size or even greater than. Both Richards and Montdor have the power of Planetary. Now, personally, I don't abide by Versus Battle Wiki, but off that power alone, this is where he was scaled to. Now, with this ability, both Franklin and Montdor can create countably infinite number of space-time continuums. And while Izanagi is Planetary, it does not allow you to create an infinite number of space-time continuums from what is depicted. It's not about having the ability, it's about what they're capable of doing with the ability. Now, you guys are going to argue that I'm taking things out of context. Big Mom says you can find an infinite array of worlds. The anime translates this to infinite universe. Jinbei says the imagination and span of the world of books is infinite. And I know you're going to say they're illusions, but that's only one technique that the Devil Fruit has. The Viva card says it planets data at their pocket dimensions. And at the bottom of the manga, Big Mom says it's the power of her son, Montdor. So it's not books in general, it's the books that her son creates. Oh, and the pocket dimensions exist outside of time, seeing how the contents within the book are eternally ageless. Now, before you say there's only one animal sealed to the page, you're basically telling me you're not caught up because Nami and Luffy are both physically inside of the book. Height, length, and width exist inside this space, so it's not 2D. We also see Luffy reach his 72 Gomu limit. And they're not the only ones in the book. There are at least as many prisoners as there are pages. Montdor is even powerful enough to contain an admiral. Now, Whitebeard is stated to have the power to destroy the world. World definition, the material universe, or all that exists. Suru, an experienced marine, stated that even if she backed up to the end of the sea, she wouldn't be safe. With a single attack, Whitebeard split the ocean. He's capable of cracking space itself. His earthquakes cause tsunamis that hit islands that are days away. You can say it's a hyperbole, but he's old and sick, and he did this with a single attack. Not one, not two, not three, but an infinite number of worlds are affected by Whitebeard's power. And all the Yonko are relative to one another, plus it wouldn't make sense for them to scale below Montdor. Whitebeard and the other Yonko are multi-uni.
Hagoromo literally created the moon.
There's no way he's this biased. He's completely ignoring the fact that Hagoromo had help from his brother.
Nah, this one was a miss, as you would know that Chibaku Tensei is only a Rinnegan user's ability, and Hamura only had Byakugan, so he couldn't help Hagoromo at all in creating the moon.
They invoked Six Path's planetary construction, transforming it into the moon. They sealed it away. You simply need Six Path Sage Mode to perform this technique. A Rinnegan isn't necessary.
Hagoromo has both of these seals. He can easily create the Chibaku Tensei by himself if he wanted to because he has the yin and yang.
Actually, he didn't obtain both seals until after he became the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. Otherwise, it'd be no reason for his brother to be there in the first place.
Carmel created his son by herself.
I was just a big ball of fire, not really a sun.
And this here is a big ball of rocks, a hollow satellite, not a real moon.
What's crazy is that's exactly what a moon is, just a ball of rocks that's a satellite orbiting the Earth.
Mother Carmel created his son by herself.
I was just a big ball of fire.
The sun is a hot ball of glowing gases. Isn't fire a gas, my guy? In fact, some flames burn so hot they become plasma.
Yes, you are right to some extent. The sun does have some fire explosions on the surface, but its original energy source is nuclear fusion. Unlike fire, this is how it makes its energy. Regular fires do not produce energy using nuclear fusion.
But it's not a regular fire.
It's fused with a soul. So the soul makes it a sun. You would have to prove that souls don't have any nuclei to fuse with.
Okay, that's pretty easy to prove. Souls are just like spiritual, immaterial parts of a human being or an animal, regarded as immortal, so it's not physical.
Physical, tangible, or concrete. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 tangible souls. The soul that the fire fused with had nuclei. This nuclear fusion makes Pandora a sun.
We're gonna learn about a thing called soul manipulation. It's the ability to be able to interact with non-physical souls as if they were physical.
Sorry, bro, you're trying to give Usopp powers that he doesn't have. That would be the equivalent of giving these characters the power of shadow manipulation. These things can just materialize within the One Piece verse. And if they're tangible, they're physical. And if they're physical, they have nuclei.
Process of nuclear fusion. You have to prove that they have these isotopes and hydrogen.
You're getting a little predictable there.
Pocket dimensions are just smaller parts of a dimension that they originally derived from, so they're not really that big.
What about the time chamber? It's the size of a house, but as big as the Earth. Dimension F is a pocket dimension. It's a replica of Franklin's root dimension. It's even noted to have a similar expanse to its root dimension, which means it can be equal in size or even greater than. Both Richards and Montdor have the power of Planetary. Now, personally, I don't abide by Versus Battle Wiki, but off that power alone, this is where he was scaled to.
every single Uchiha clan member that's ever had a Sharingan Planetary. Introducing the Izanagi.
Planetary is an ability. Now with this ability, both Franklin and Montdor can create countably infinite number of space-time continuums. And while Izanagi is Planetary, it does not allow you to create an infinite number of space-time continuums from what is depicted. It's not about having the ability, it's about what they're capable of doing with the ability. Guys, I think I've finally come to my senses about the Luffy versus Naruto battle. First category, travel speed. Post-time skip Luffy in base form can travel at Mach 5. Despite being in KCM, Naruto cannot run fast enough to ignite flame. Next up, reaction speed. Luffy pre-time skip base form can dodge photons, a feat Naruto needed 6-path Sage Mode to perform. Now let's get into combat speed. Now both Rick and Luffy are able to overwhelm beings who can see through the 4th dimension. Rick uses tech, but Luffy does it through his raw speed alone. They both access the plane of probability, which is a 6-dimensional feat. Luffy punches so fast, Katakuri sees into the future and perceives his hits as if they're happening in the present. And while Naruto is a good fighter, he isn't depicted of having a combat speed higher than Mach 2. Okay, attack potency. Base Luffy can damage Kaido. All Yonko are relative to one another. Both Whitebeard and Montdor are multi-uni. A lot of people use this panel right here for Naruto, but it never happened in the manga. Momoshiki never absorbed a star. He planned to, which doesn't mean he can absorb the entire thing. He also never destroyed a planet. He only wiped out all the citizens on the planet for sacrifices for the god tree. Also, Naruto never split the moon. That was Taneri, the person he was fighting. The moon itself was made from the land of fire. That means the rocks that encompass it are less than that of a country. Don't forget that it's hollow. On to durability. Midoriya is proof that AP does not equal durability. Naruto and Sasuke together destroyed a valley and both lost an arm. Naruto in KCM is even capable of being stabbed with a sword. Swords don't even work on 4th gear Luffy. He can even withstand continent splitting attacks. Let's move to battle IQ. Naruto has been learning martial arts since he was 8. Rob Lucci has been learning martial arts since he was 8. Look what Luffy did to Rob. Luffy has been training since he was 7. With his battle IQ, he is able to trump various fighting styles. It even outclasses ninjutsu. Luffy has 6 points, Naruto has 0. So already Luffy wins 6 out of 10.